Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren Fix, and this is the 2023 Kia EV6, but it's the GT, which means it's got killer performance, dual motors, and 0 to 60 times in 3-ish seconds. So we're gonna take it out for a drive, but first I wanna do a quick walk around with the vehicle because I want you to know what you're looking at. And you can see the wiper blades are still going because we are raining here in Ann Arbor. It has not stopped. Mother Nature's not being our friend, but I wanna show you this really cool car. First off, I love the colors that they're offering, including this blue, which looks like a lapis blue, which is one of my favorite colors, and it makes the car really pop, especially with a gray interior. You'll notice these LED headlights, which looks like the EV6 previous, which we've also reviewed. You can check that out on our channel up here. So you'll notice that the front end is more aggressive, and you can see that because this is the GT version. It's gonna have better aerodynamics, better handling, and certainly more performance. I really like how they flattened out the silver colors and the details here. This is all about making it more modern and more sporty, and this is the fastest Kia they've ever built. So one of the things you'll notice on the EV6 GT is these wicked calipers. They're not Brembos, they made their own. If you remember the Hyundai N-Line, which we reviewed, they were using the same thing. When you're using an N car, they wanted to create their own calipers to keep the cost down, and that they've done, so they make the cars more value-based for you. This is riding on 21-inch alloy Eagle Goodyears. They're F1 tires. Really good summer tire. Not exactly the best all-season tires, but if you're gonna drive it through the winter, you just buy yourself some all-season tires. Some of the things you'll note as you come around here is just some of the flat lines. Really cool body lines in this car. Because remember, a lot of these designers used to work for German manufacturers. They're very wise to get them to come onto the Kia line because now you're seeing the results of a mix of the Korean design mixed with some German flavor. And a lot of that you'll see like this black detail right here on the sill plate. Really cool. The door handles that fold flat when the vehicle's going. It's about aerodynamics, of course, and a lot of the black details. There is a glass roof, and you'll see as you come back here, it's got muscular hips, which it has to be if it's a GT. That's part of the look. So as you come around to the back, you will see that there is another EV6 GT that's driven by my friend Javier Mota. Please check out his channel on YouTube. He's all over social media and Instagram, and we do a lot of these reviews together. He does an excellent job. Check that out. Now, as you come around to the back, you'll see the EV6 logo, the Kia logo, and GT, letting everyone know I got the performance model. I didn't get the utilitarian version. Really nice looking, very aggressive back here. You'll also notice the black details and a rear spoiler. This rear spoiler is about airflow. You want this vehicle to slip through the wind so you get the best performance, the least wind resistant, so you get the best battery life and the most performance. That's how they build race cars, and that's the mindset they came up with. Going further up, it has a wing that actually has air that flows through, because in a wind tunnel, again, it's about getting the air to flow around the vehicle, making it less wind resistant, making it more aerodynamic. So that's how they design these vehicles anyhow. Even something as simple as a satellite radio antenna, it's also aerodynamic. They've been doing that for years, but they really thought about making this all fit together. They did a really nice job on the design. Under the hood of the EV6 GT is not an engine, but a cover which has all the controls for brakes and for everything you need. It's just tucked underneath there. It is all electric motors. It is not a front trunk, so it's just something to keep in mind for those people that think they want the extra storage. So inside the Kia EV6 GT, which is the performance edition, this is the fastest Kia they've ever built. 0 to 60 times are like 3 seconds. So if you take this electric motor, and there's 2 of them, and you put down like 2 horsepower so you can get a comparison, 576 horsepower. That's a lot of power for a Kia or literally most cars that are on the road. So if you've seen our EV6 review, we really like the car, very much like the Ioniq 5, which is its kissing cousin, let's be honest. They don't like to admit it, but Kia and Hyundai have the same parent corporation, partly owned by the Korean government, but what you do get is a lot of crossover. So if you're feeling comfortable in an EV6, you'll feel comfortable in an Ioniq 5. You also get that same comfort level in the Genesis vehicles. So driving, first thing you're gonna get is behind the wheel, excellent visibility, long front windshield. Out the back is a little limiting, but you've got cameras. And so that's one of the nice things, a 360-degree around view camera. Now, one of the things I really like about this vehicle is the fact that it gives you that same feel as if you were driving a regular gasoline-powered vehicle. You've got the normal steering wheel, in this case for performance. You've got the thumb rests. You've got a flat bottom wheel. It is cool looking. I love the green stitching that goes with the green piping that's in the seats. These seats, by the way, are really comfortable. They are manual. There is no power on the seat on the side, on the bottom, or on the door. And the reason for that is anytime you're using power for something else, you're not using it to propel the vehicle. So that's one of the things that you're going to notice. Maybe things are less power, but in reality, listen, I own a GT500. I don't care about power seats. I'm there for the performance. You buy that car for the performance, not for the power seats. You can manually adjust the seats in the steering wheel. No big deal. This is a tilt and telescopic wheel. It is manual. That's fine. Now, as far as what you're seeing in front of you as far as controls and safety, you're getting all of the safety features that come standard on the Kia, which is forward collision warning. You put on your turn signal, you get that light that right there. You're getting that camera, which shows you the blind spot detection. That's excellent as well. And these are the kind of things that people buy Kias and Hyundais for. They want the long 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, which you get in this car, including with the battery, which I think is a big plus for people who are considering these vehicles. But most people are leasing. So if you're leasing it, you don't have to worry about the battery headache that's coming down the road in 5-6 years of owning it or a lot of miles on this vehicle. As far as the vehicle itself, you're going to get all the Kia, Hyundai, good, positive things that make these vehicles so successful. I'm going to follow my friend Javier Mota, who is also on our podcast. You can check that out in the description down below. He's got an EV6 GT as well in red. I'm driving the blue one, and we're taking him out on this rainy day in Ann Arbor because we're test driving these vehicles for the North American Car and Truck of the Year. This is in the car category because it is an EV6. But I have to say it is really cool. They may have put it into the SUV category, but it's really a car. Let's face it. They're calling everything an SUV or a crossover these days because of the flexibility of the vehicle, and the ride's the same, the performance is there. So this may be qualifying under SUV. I gotta have double check the categories, but either way, it doesn't make a difference. If you're buying a vehicle, you're buying it because you want it and it meets your needs. You're not buying it because it fits in a certain category. Although it does affect the insurance rate, so it's something to keep in mind. Boy, it is raining here like crazy, and it's like 30 degrees. It's freezing and it's wet and cold. Just test these electric vehicles. Unfortunately, it doesn't make it so much fun when you are trying to do launches, because it's about traction. That's always quite interesting. The back seats are going to be the same. There's going to be plenty of room, flat floor, because there's no drive shaft. Remember, this is electric motors. Even with the 2 electric motors and the battery packs, you're going to have a flat floor, and that includes here in the front. And so what they did is they put this really awesome center console here, and it's got everything you need. You've got your heated seats, which I'm going to turn on because I'm actually getting really cold. That does use power, by the way. So if you're thinking about buying an electric vehicle and you get into that range anxiety when you're like 15, 20 miles till empty, shut off all that electric stuff. That includes the heated seats. Start stop button is right here in front of you. It's just a circle and it says EV. So instead of it being on off, it's power. So it's electric vehicle on or electric vehicle off. Pretty intuitive. So going further back, what you have is your park, reverse, neutral, drive, everything is right here. Behind your shifter dial is your cameras. Behind that is the auto hold, which is, people like that because when you sit at a traffic light, the car won't roll forward. We've all experienced it where the vehicle rolls forward on you. Well, this won't by hitting that auto hold button. There's also park assist, which will help you get into parking spots, both perpendicular and parallel. And also it has the blind spot detection, things that are there. Just all of this is to protect you, to make it easier, because it's easy to back into anything with any vehicle. Underneath the center console is more storage, and it's quite a deep well, which is nice so things don't slosh all over the place. And in front of that is a USB and a USB-C charging ports, and that's really nice because that's what people want. They want to have that available to them and always be charging. See, like I said, in front of you, what you have is your technology, which I think is interesting. You've got all of this flat screen. It's like a skateboard. It goes across about 24 inches. So it's 2 12.3-inch screens all on one piece of glass. In front of you, you have all of your drive information. You can change your drive modes. On the left side of the steering wheel, underneath that airbag, you have your normal, and your sport, and you can instantly feel instant change. And that's what people like. They want that feel. And then the GT button. When you put it in GT, that's where you're gonna get the big horsepower. In front of you, you've got this screen here, and when you slide it to the left, you've got your EV mode, and it'll show you what you're doing, which I think is kind of neat. It shows you your distance, it shows you the next station, it shows you where it is and how much you have there. In addition, you've got your map, which I think is really crystal clear. We're currently in Ann Arbor. We're testing out of Weber's restaurant, and also it's a hotel. So this is really nice. I mean, it really gives you everything you need. You can press the home button here, or else you can use the buttons in other places. In addition to that, you get your navigation menu, phone projection, voice memo, your climate control, your valet mode, in case you want to leave this vehicle with the valet. You don't have to do a Ferris Bueller's Day Off, one of my favorite movies. There's a quiet mode if you've got a baby in the car and you want to have total silence. That's nice. But this handles really nicely. Handles very specific, very German, which is interesting because Kia and Hyundai have hired a ton of German technicians, people from the M program, from the performance program, from the handling program. And what you're getting is you're seeing that in the design as well. Although the design may be Korean, there's a lot of German influence. So all your information is here as you need it. We'll just put it back on the EV because it's kind of neat to watch. Further down, you've got this really cool blue lines. They're like a performance line that's underneath the ventilation. And then this is more than just your climate control. This is something that I think is really cool and you have to get used to. So there is two screens that are here in front of you. One is your navigation. Everything's right here, your auto climate control, all is that. And then press that button here. This is climate control. And the one above it is going to the navigation. So it shows you the different ones you want. I think that is fabulous. Also note that there is a driver only on the climate control. Again, that's about saving electricity. And this whole thing is pretty basic, but then again, yet this is a sporty version because it is the EV6 GT. And its real story is not just how cool the interior looks and how easy it is to work with. It is the comfort of the seats, which feel very much like a Recaro seat. They don't say who makes them, it just says GT on it, but it is very, very cool. And addition to big power. And this is even in eco mode. It has big power. So I'm gonna jump it to the sport mode here real quick. Brakes are regeneration. Again, you can adjust that regen, which is how it recharges the battery a little bit by using the pedals, right? The paddles right here. Use the paddles, that increases the less regeneration, and the minus will bring you down to one pedal drive. That's when you put it all the way down. It says one pedal drive, or I pedal on, same thing. One pedal makes it like a golf cart. No brakes needed, just on and off the gas. When you're on, you're on. When you're off, you can feel that drag. It's like you can feel it pulling down. And that energy is the same as you rub your hands together for warmth. That creates energy. That energy is heat and can be transferred into the battery to give it a little bit more life. So that's what regenerative brakes do. A lot of people aren't aware of that. So part of what this vehicle is all about is making it fun to drive, but at the same time, giving you what you need on the street for your daily drive or a spirited drive, which I think I drive pretty spirited. When you come around to the back, there is plenty of storage. You have 60/40 split rear seats. This also has a tire mobility kit, which means there's no spare tire, and there's charging cables underneath here and an emergency kit. So they really thought about what you're gonna need, and really simple, easy to use, flat folding floor, which is good when you're bringing things to wherever you need to go. Because we're getting an early look at this vehicle and we can share this with you, we don't have pricing yet. When I do get it, I'll put it down in the description down below. We've also driven all the competitors in this category. Again, you can check that out on our YouTube channel, also our podcast, Total Car Score, all that is down in the description below. But when you're looking at this vehicle, one of the things I have to say, it's got great performance, but it's important to note that the EV6 GT is not the GT line. The GT line is the performance version of the regular EV6. I know it's confusing, but this means when you go with the regular GT, just GT, not GT line, you're talking about the performance edition, which is what we've all been waiting for. And we're gonna see a lot more of this type of product coming out of Kia, as well as Hyundai, and even Genesis is talking about creating a performance line, which is exciting. So cars will no longer be boring, they will be exciting. And we know you have additional questions on this, and since we got as much information as we could give you at this time, Put your comments down below, your questions. I'll get you an answer. Let's open the conversation. Do you own a Kia product? Do you love this product? Are you excited and waiting for this? Or are you going to buy something else? Or are you just totally no EVs? I'm curious what your thoughts are. Let's start the conversation down below. More information is in the description. And of course, we appreciate your support. If you got value from this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Thank you so much for buying me a cup of coffee, and I look forward to seeing you next time.